Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I just wanted to talk a little bit with you guys about how our summer went, how our new school year is looking, what I have planned, things that I've been working on, things that I've been going through. So if you are interested in hanging out with me today, then stay tuned. If you guys have started school, I hope that it is going smoothly, and I hope that you guys are all enjoying your time together. And I just wanted to give you a little bit of encouragement if you guys are having a tough time or off to a rocky start. I know that happens. It happens for us. We have bad days and we have good days, but just hold on to those good days, hold on to those good moments, and just reflect on those when things are tough. That is what I have to do. I just look back on the reasons why I chose to homeschool, and that kind of keeps me pushing forward with it, you guys. I know it can be tough, and I know it's not always what it looks like in videos that you guys watch or photos that you guys see. So just kind of stay tuned and just enjoy those small moments. You guys are doing great. I also wanted to mention, if you guys ever do watch any of our day in the lives, know that I am not going to show the bad moments. I know that would be like a real video to show, but because I don't want to put on the internet like what my kids are going through, or if they're struggling, or if they're upset with something, I'm definitely not going to record it and like have it on a platform where everybody can see. So just know that we do have bad days. We have on every day, pretty much, there is like a bad moment, not bad, but just kind of like a tough moment here and there, you know what I mean? So it's not always what it seems to be, is what I want to let you guys know. So just know that you guys are doing well. You're doing the best that you guys know how to do and can do, and just keep pressing forward. Stay in prayer. God will get you through, just like he does with everything else. So moving on from that, you guys, I just wanted to kind of give you encouragement. Now, we were supposed to start this year on the 1st. Again, we postponed it. We did this last year as well, but this year, you guys, I have not felt ready. Like in my heart, I just haven't felt ready. I don't know if it's because I've been so busy. Like, this is the first real year we're doing year round, because that was kind of cut off a little bit last year just because of us getting sick. But this year is our first year, so I really had a short summer to prepare everything, and I'm literally just now finishing up with preparing everything, and it is the 6th of September. So that kind of gives you guys perspective. It's 5 days after we were supposed to start, and I am just now starting to feel ready. I haven't had very much rest. Just the things that go through your guys' heads and trying to prepare and organize. So I just really haven't felt like I've had the rest that I need as far as just being on the go. And I know that's typical for us moms usually. It's hard to find rest. It's hard to find time for yourself. But even just downtime for myself is what I need. I've been going through kind of like a season in my life where I feel uneasy. And, with everything that's going on in the world, I know that most of you guys are feeling the same way. And it may not be the exact feeling that we're all feeling, like, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, is the things that myself and my husband went through while being sick, it really put fear in our hearts. Not want this to get emotional, but it really put fear in our hearts. And just to kind of give you like an overview, we are Christian, and we've given our lives and everything to Christ from different things that we've gone through. And this is the first time that I can honestly say that in my mind, I feel like I was being beaten by fear. And that's definitely not a place where I want to be, and my husband either. He's a very strong, faithful man. We're both very strong in our faith, and I felt for a while that fear was kind of taking over. It never took over the feeling of God being in my life or anything, but it just, I don't know how to explain it, but the fear was just getting to me, you guys. And fear is not something of God. It is not. God does not give you fear. He is supposed to take it from us. So we have really just been praying, and our families have been praying with the church, and you know, crying out to God, and he really helped us. And a couple weeks ago, we started to finally feel better. And you know, when you start to feel fear, just rebuke it in the name of Jesus. And I swear, you guys, if you truly believe that and you feel that in your heart, he will help you. He will deliver that from you. And I feel like he has done that. Now, don't get me wrong, there's still fear. You know, we worry about the unknown, like all of us. But when we start to feel that way, we don't let ourselves go down into that hole. So one way that I like to describe it is, I feel like I'm getting closed into a box that's really just dark, and it just keeps closing in on me. And I've been there before, and I told myself I would never let myself get to that place again. And thank goodness the good Lord delivered me from that. And he's just always so gracious to us and loving. And so I'm thankful for that. So if any of you guys are going through anything, and I know most of you are, because we all are, just try to get closer to God. You guys can always email me or message me for prayer. I will more than willing want to pray for you. I want to pray for you. I think that prayer is such a beautiful thing that we as Christians have, that God has allowed us to do and have power over, because he has power over our prayer. So with that being said, I didn't want to get deep into this before getting into my catch up, but I want you guys to know that if you guys are going through something, that you are not alone, and we are all going through something. And I want you to know that if you need support, I'm there for you. So that is it on that. So basically, there are different factors that led into myself and my sister deciding to take a couple more weeks off of school. We've decided that we are starting this Thursday, so it kind of lined up kind of crazy, because we are only doing Thursday, we're taking off Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday, and then we're starting back Monday. But what we've decided is we're shortening Thursday and Monday. We changed it because my mom's coming to visit on Friday, so we wanted to have that day off with her. Originally it was going to be you know, splitting a couple days. It's confusing. I'm not going to get into how our plans were, but we are doing the first 2 days split. So we are going to have 2 really short days, because we have some fun things planned for our first day back, and I will get into that in a second. But we just decided to kind of postpone it until later, and I'm really thankful that we did, because I've had rest. I've been in prayer more often than before. I'm reading scripture, I'm doing my Bible studies, I'm watching different sermons online. I have my church, and then I watch other pastors that I really enjoy listening to, that help me through things. And I've just been finding myself listening to a lot of worshiping music and praising him when I can, and making it a priority to praise him in the morning with either Bible study or watching a sermon. I did watch my church, because I still haven't gone back to church, but I did watch my church, and my pastor was talking about your true north, who your true north is. And the reason he was using that as a metaphor is he was talking about a compass, you know, always finds the north because of the magnetic field or whatever. And he was saying, you know, who in your life is your true north? And we want it to be Jesus, right? But if you're following him and he has your heart, right? Because our heart is the magnet, basically. He said it so much better, you guys. So this is not going to do him justice at all. But it really stuck out to me, because he said that if you're following and you're being pulled to him, and something's kind of pulling you away from him, and you keep going, you're going to be way off from north, right? Even if you were actually hiking and you were following that north, and you kind of just started to kind of veer off a little bit, in the long run, you're going to be way off. It's not even going to be a little off. It's going to be way off. Well, if you're following Jesus, but you're kind of doing what you want and praying to him when you want and, you know, reading whenever or just because you feel like you have to, then you're going to be led away from him. And not intentionally, but that's what's going to happen. And I sat back and I'm like, wow, that really makes sense. Because in my heart, in my mind, I know that he's my true north. But then I'm thinking like, okay, if he's my true north, why am I doing everything else before I sit down to read the Bible or do my Bible study? And so now when I wake up and I have a whole day planned ahead of me, I sit down and I kind of reflect and I'm like, okay, he's my true north. That is why I'm going to study him first and not do these other things, because he is who is number one in my life. And I want him to be number one. It's not something that I just tell myself because I am a Christian. I truly have him in my heart, and I want him to know that he is my number one in this life. And I think once we do that, everything kind of falls into place. Yes, we will have bad times. Yes, we will go through horrible things that we don't understand. But just knowing that he is all sovereign and loving, and there is a huge picture. We are one out of millions. So, and he's doing everything, everything kind of goes together, but he has the greatest plan. You know, we can plan all we want, but he is the one in control. So I don't know if that even made sense. I kind of went off, but so anyways, so that is what I've basically been doing for this time off of, you know, just of like relaxing and kind of resetting, is just focusing more on him. And if you guys are struggling and the school days are kind of taking away from you and you're kind of feeling overwhelmed, take a break. Take a break, you guys. Take a few days off. It's okay. You can get back into it. But the best thing for us as moms is to be mentally grounded and to have our hearts where they need to be so that he can guide us and so that we can hear him, because he guides us. We just don't always listen to him. We kind of, you know, we have a plan and that's our plan. And even praying to him and asking him to show us if it doesn't seem like our plan, then we're like, he's not talking to us. That's not our plan. We don't listen because it's not in our plan. But if you truly sit back and hear what he's telling you, then things will start to fall into place. And the way you do that is by taking a moment, taking a break, reflecting and praying and just having some quiet. And I don't mean quiet in the house, because the house is never really quiet, but just having quiet for yourself, for your soul. That makes sense. I hope this makes sense. I'm not a very good speaker. When it comes to stuff like this especially, but I've just really been feeling him in my heart pulling, and I've been asking him how to use this channel for moms and women, you know, grandmas, even dads. You guys can listen to this too. I mean, it refers back to God, so this is for everybody. But I've really just been trying to dig deep and find what he wants for me to do. So that is why we are starting later, and I think it's the best decision that we made. So we haven't started school yet. We're starting this Thursday, and I'm really excited, you guys, because I was trying to think of a way to make it special for them, especially because we're all going to be doing school again together, and that's really, really big for us. So I decided to do like a little tea party, and so I bought some like fall themed tea party stuff. I'll have a video that shows me prepping it out, but we're really excited about that. And then what else was I gonna talk to you guys about? Oh yeah, okay, so on our first day, we will definitely take pictures. One thing I regret that we didn't do last year is we didn't take a whole family group picture of all of us before the school year started, and I definitely want to do that because we are doing yearbooks, and I want to make sure to have that photo in there. And I'm thinking I have a frame up on the wall behind the camera, and I think I'm gonna enlarge it and put it on that frame. So it's in our schoolroom of all of us on the first day together. And then something else I kind of wanted to touch on with you guys is I mentioned in one of my organizing videos that I was having problems with our 4th grade spelling workbook. Yeah, babe. So something else I wanted to talk to you guys about is, I feel like this video is all over the place, super emotional, and then straight into business, you guys. So with Becca, when we ordered our language arts kit, I noticed that when it was delivered, I didn't have a spelling workbook. I had the test and the test key, and I'm thinking that can't be right, because how is she going to work on those on the list? Where are the lists, and where are the questions that they use for their spelling lists? And so I messaged Becca through their chat thing. I don't know, it's like on their app, you can chat with them. So I messaged them and let them know that I didn't receive the spelling book, and they had told me that there isn't a spelling book, that it was included in the manual. And I'm thinking, that's kind of weird. Are you sure? Because it did not make sense to me. And then I started to think, okay, so wait. So the woman transferred me over to one of the leads, and she told me the same thing. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's kind of weird, but okay, I believed them, right? Because they work for the company. And I am not bashing Becca at all. I've had really good experience with them every year, but this year it was kind of all over the place, I felt like. I don't know if they're overwhelmed by the amount of new homeschoolers or what's going on, but it felt like we just kept, you know, when you have a hit and miss, well, this felt like we just kept missing. Like, we didn't get specific things we were supposed to get. My sister didn't get some things, so it's just kind of all over the place. So anyways, so when I finally did get my language arts manual, now this is the parent-led manual, because I ordered the actual single subject kit, okay, that comes with the video manual because we're doing video led, but then I wanted to get just the lesson plan book just in case I wanted to teach more or I wanted to explain something to her. I had the book. And thank goodness I did that, because the video manual I still have not received, and it is September 6th, you guys, okay? So I got the parent-led manual, and I saw on the front of it that it had a picture of the spelling workbook. And I'm like, hold on a second, I don't have that. So I opened up the language to the spelling section, and it was telling me what days she needed to work on her worksheets. And I'm thinking, okay. So I looked more through the spelling thinking, okay, maybe it's in here and I'm supposed to like photocopy it or something, or the lists or something, nothing. So I messaged them and I talked to a woman, and she was really helpful. She just said for some reason it wasn't included in the kit. And I'm like, that's weird. So it must be like something going on their end when they set it up. Someone must have forgotten to add that into that for the kit, because it shows that it's a part of the kit, and it's supposed to be a part of the kit because it's spelling, and this is a language kit. So if you guys are having the same problem, make sure you guys let them know, no, I'm supposed to have the workbook. Don't say okay if they say it's in your manual, because it's not, okay? So I did want to touch on that, because I know one of you mamas messaged me and said the same thing. So I wanted to make sure that you're hearing what I'm saying, just in case you don't get my response on the comments. Another thing I wanted to touch on is I have something really cool to offer you guys. It is free, and it's for you ladies. Dads, if you guys don't mind what the designs are in this, you can definitely use it too. But I wanted to do something special for you guys, because most times when we're homeschooling, everything is about our kiddos, and nothing is wrong with that, because you know what? Our kiddos should be up there on the list, right? Now, this kind of goes back to spending time with the Lord and getting yourself ready, basically being strong, and just being strong in the Lord and knowing that He'll get you through anything is very helpful in life and in homeschooling, because we all know we have really tough days. So again, I wanted to do something special for you guys, and so I made a Bible journal just for you moms. So this is by the KJV version. I know you guys have asked me if I'm doing like any of the verses in anything other than the King James, and I'm not, only because we use the King James version, and I think maybe later on I'll be able to do other versions, but I really enjoy the King James, so that's what I'm making.
Mom.
Yeah. So this is the front cover of it. I will show you guys a closer look on the inside. This is just a note to you guys that I put together. And then you guys, this truly came from my heart. So I hope that you guys visit my website. This again is for free. It will be down, if you scroll to the bottom, it'll be where you see free downloads, and this will be labeled, what did I label it? KJV Bible Copy Work Journal. Now you can use this as copy work, or like if you're trying to memorize verses, or you can use it as a journal. You can do it however you guys want to. But that was my intentions in making it. So what it is it's a verse book, and on one side I have, let me get to the first page. So when you open it past the letter that I wrote out to you guys, you're gonna see the verse or the verses and then the lined paper side. So you can use this however you guys would like. If you do not want to use it as a journal at all, when you guys go to your print options, you guys can literally just print out the verses as a book. So here are some of the verses, but these are all taken from the King James Version, and I just pulled verses that I really love and that stood out to me and that I think that will help through this time. And yeah, so I made this for you guys, and I really hope that you guys enjoy it. I hope that you guys go and print it out for yourselves. You can always print it out for family. You know, Christmas is coming up, or if you just want to give something, you know, to your mom or sister, something like that. I printed a copy out for my sister. I'm going to print a copy out for my mom and my sister-in-law. And so yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to laminate the front copy like I always do, and I'm going to grab a colored cardstock for the back. I'm going to laminate that, and I'm going to bind it. So that is something that I did for you guys, and I have created other things to go on there for supplemental work or book studies for history, basically. I'll just show you a couple things that I'll have on the website. So basically I used this book to write up my worksheets just to kind of go with this, because this is the book we chose. This is the Scholastic Ellis Island. It's Cornerstones of Freedom. You can buy this on Amazon. You can buy it through Scholastic, but we're going to be working on that. So I went ahead and made my daughter and youngest niece one of these bound books, the bindings across the top, so it's easier for them. And then we just have some questions here. We have multiple choice, I think, in here. We have an activity. They have this little suitcase, and then they are going to choose 5 items from this page to place in their suitcase of what they would take if they were moving to another country. And then we have more questions here. I don't know if you guys can see. And then more questions on the back here. And then we have Lady Liberty to color. And then there's a poem that they're going to fill in the answers. And let's see here. They have more questions. More questions. A couple more pages of questions. And then they have a word search. So that is in the Ellis Island. So I have the student copy, and then I have the teacher copy, same thing, but with all of the answers. And then another thing that I came up with that I'm still trying to figure out how to get on my website, because for some reason the download wants to do it as like a PNG download instead of a, what is it called? PDF. So I am not sure how I'm going to get it on there, but I'm really going to try. The book that they are using to work through this, it's going to be about the US presidents, is this book. We thought this would be really fun. I let my daughter choose, but you can pretty much use any type of president's book. You can use the internet, but I have this one from the Dollar Tree. And so it is this US president's book here, and it just walks through each president. There's a space at the top where they can write what number president they are, when they were born, their term, their party, their nickname, and then claim to fame, and then anything that they accomplished through being the president. So I have all the presidents in here. So yeah, that's something we're gonna be working on this year as well. So another thing that I have for you guys on my website is I used this geography from A to Z. It's a picture glossary, and what I did was I made a workbook to go along with it. So it's geography landforms from A to Z, and basically it just touches on each one of the landforms that are in this book, and they're to like draw the picture, and there's a couple questions to ask, like the definition and things like that. So it's nothing really intense. It's just something to work on with your kiddos so that they get more familiar with the landforms around the world. And then the last thing to share with you guys, so I had purchased this a couple years ago. It is a level 1, 2, and 3 reader for African American History Makers Collection, and we're using it for the George Washington Carver. Now, this is a level 1 reader, and I know that my kids are way past level 1, but it's okay. It's going to be a shorter unit study, I guess, while we're reading. And I really wanted to use it because we already had it on hand. And I did buy a book specifically on George Washington Carver, but I think that it is more for like a little bit of an older age. It's a pretty thick book. So I'm thinking we'll work on that within the next few years, maybe junior high. So we are gonna work through the George Washington Carver there. I went ahead and did this little workbook. Same thing, basically. It has different activities to do that go along with that book. Here's another writing activity. Or I'm sorry, the first one was a drawing activity, and then the second one is a writing activity. And then we have questions here. Again, they correspond with what is in that book. Second page of questions, and then we have definitions to do. We have a poem to fill in, and then we have a timeline that's here on the first page, and it continues here on the second page. So that is for George Washington Carver. And then I also have a teacher key that has all of the answers on the inside or printed in the red. So it's easy for you guys to see. And that is it. So that is what I have been preparing for the school year. I have so many more supplements that I am working on. I'm working through Landmarks one right now, and I have more book studies to do because if you're new to the channel, I like doing history supplements that add into our base Notgrass history curriculum. So that is what I'm doing, and I think that is it. Let me check to make sure. I wrote down stuff that I needed to talk to you guys about. That's it, you guys. That is it for this video. I am so sorry this one was all over the place, but I really wanted to speak from my heart and tell you guys what was going on and our choices in prolonging our summer, and then just kind of talking to you guys about you know, just being spiritually strong and not letting the things of this world consume us, because that is definitely what the devil wants from us. He wants to take our joy, and he wants us to be fearful and confused, and when we are feeling that way, that's when he can attack us. So I really just wanted to talk to you guys about that. So I hope that that kind of helped you guys or touched some of you guys, let you guys know that we are all in this together, and we are a family of Christ, and we need to stick together and be community. And so yeah, so I love you guys. From one sister in Christ to another, and just stay safe, stay joyful, and be blessed. I will see you guys next time. Bye.
What if the world had more of your smile? What if the wind could spread your love? What if your sweetness could reach everyone? There'd be no wars,